Since moving to the countryside, I have started to feed the birds. They have distinctly different personalities. In some ways, I've started to resent the birds. Sure, the robin comes to me for crumbs in the morning, but he would do just as well without me. Here I am, forced to trudge to the shops, to buy things, assemble meals, comb my hair, clothe myself, and perform. Never-ending lists of tasks. Everything is too clean, too smooth, and too synthetic. But at night, I dream that I am a bird. Wings spread wide as I surf the breeze. Nothing but the sky to cage me. In the contemporary world, day-to-day life keeps us caged and separated from nature. Humans are fundamentally natural beings, and our reliance on the safe structure of mundane society removes our inherent natural connection. In Becoming by Katie Oliver, we see the tension between giving up the synthetic world and embracing the natural one, disrupting the balance between wildness in nature and home among society. The robin in particular is semi-tame and approaches me even as I sit with my window open, observing the minute feathers around its eyes and the tremblingly delicate rise and fall of its puffed out chest. I consider how it would be to build a nest, so I gather up twigs and moss and construct. A neat oval, just large enough. I climb inside, burrowing in and embracing the sharp ends of twigs that scrape my skin, the feathers tickling my nose. When I look up, all I can see is the tree canopy overhead, rustling gently in the breeze. But at night I lie restless, back in this bed that has never truly felt like mine, in these slippery faux satin pajamas that slide sweatily up my spine. I decide I'll open a window and soothe myself to sleep by watching the stars, the muted hoots of owls gently calling me home. I decide that I'll sleep in my nest. The nights are growing warmer. Dusk is falling as I climb inside, and partially concealed in the undergrowth, I sleep better than I have in weeks. I wake early with the sunrise. A lone woodcock hops about in close proximity. It knows I'm not a threat. I watch it pecking and scratching the ground, pulling up a worm with casual dexterity. My stomach rumbles. My jaw aches with curiosity and a sudden burst of saliva that arrives out of nowhere. I lurch forward. I'm close enough to smell the earth, to feel each crumb of soil in hyper-real detail. I observe as the worm flails slowly, partially out of the ground from where the bird has disturbed it. I pinch the tip between finger and thumb and pull. It stretches, and just when I think it's about to break, it slides out of the ground. I hold the worm in my palm and watch as it pulses and coils over and over. All of a sudden, it's in my mouth, more visceral than I could have imagined. I gnash my teeth across its squirming, fibrous body. Grits of earth choke my throat, and tears sting my eyes. I realize I've been on all fours, limbs trembling. As the sun rises, I make my way back to the house for fresh clothes, to reluctantly brush my teeth. It is a beautiful day. I watch a swallow flit across my peripheral vision and feel a burst of frustration at the mundanity of these tasks I must perform, even while taking these tentative steps towards freedom. My stupid, basic need to use a tin opener, avail myself of electricity, collect tampons. The next evening, it's warmer still. I experiment with taking off my leggings, then my t-shirt. Emboldened, I remove my underwear and crouch naked in the undergrowth, feet splayed in the soil. Ants crawl up my legs. I pick them off and eat them. I urinate and luxuriate in the glorious simplicity of it all. I begin to sleep in my nest every night, amidst heaps of moss and dry ferns. All the while, the birds become ever more comfortable in my presence, seeing me only as healthy competition for worms. I return to the house intermittently, but birds are fed by humans too. I never linger for long. I am tentatively happy. Having cast off as many human trappings as possible, I feel myself unfolding. But I question whether this is enough, if it will ever be enough. I live like a bird as much as I can, but am hobbled by the fleshy elbowed awkwardness of these arms that will never be able to fly. My shoulder blades tingle with the wings I will never have. So, day by day, I gather feathers, shed naturally by my companions. They are gifts, each one an acknowledgement of how far I've come. I begin to weave together a frame to stretch the length of my arms and down my back. I make loops to put my arms into and a string of ivy that ties tight under my breasts to secure the structure. Standing up with wings for the first time is disorienting. The slight ache from the restriction of these wooden supports almost pleasurable. My hands are no longer hands. I begin to feel the effects of living outside, covered in dirt, cuts, and bruises. My skin is a color I no longer recognize. My feet have these hard, thick soles, and the ripe smell of my unwashed body lingers in my nostrils. I am one step closer. I barely go back to the house at all now. It started to scare me, but it's colder now, and I need matches. As I approach the garden gate, adrenaline jackknifes in my chest. There's someone at the front door. Something sparks in my memory, and I realize it's a postman. It knocks on the door several times. I am animal, afraid. I duck down, but my wings make it impossible for me to break my own fall, and I land on my back where I lie stunned, as if I've just flown into the window pane. The postman's head appears above the wall, and I watch its expression snap from mild confusion to horror. I open my mouth to speak, but all that comes out is this terrible, jagged caw that sticks in my throat. I am animal, afraid. I thrash through the woods without my usual practiced care, and once I reach my nest, I begin to gather up these pieces of who I thought I was. I am a bag of shaken out feathers spiraling away on the wind. I am animal, afraid. The temperature drops further. Matchless, my attempts to start a fire with sticks and a rock are ineffectual. The cold leaks into my bones and I settle into it. Welcome numbness gradually replacing throbbing agony. Frost settles. I wonder whether I could unfold my limbs again, even if I wanted to. I close my eyes. I am an owl, high above the trees, looking down at this woman, framed in a perfect oval, pale and frozen. I beat my wings and soar towards the stars. Finally,